as we continue for the entire hour with 2016 Republican frontrunner Donald Trump. All right, Mr. Trump, let me talk a little politics process with you. You saw this meeting that took place in Sea Island, Georgia. Mitch McConnell was there, a lot of rich millionaires and billionaires. You heard the speech of Governor Romney. There seems to be a concerted effort to prevent you from getting the 1,237 delegates because they want a brokered convention. They want a contested convention. John Kasich said, well, that would even be exciting, and he acknowledged to me that would be the only path he would have to the nomination.
It's the only way he can get it, and he's got a lot of problems, I think, in Ohio. Look, thank you. I think, look, it's very sad. I heard 59 planes flew in from all over the world. These are people that are taking advantage of our country. These are people that I know, many of them. I can even look at their plane and say, who owns this one, who owns that one? I know them. And they're all flying in because, you know, they don't want to have strong borders. They want stuff flowing across the borders. They don't want to have taxation when countries treat us unfairly because they benefit from that. And we have to. Otherwise, we're going to continue to lose our businesses. I mean, you have China sending things into this country, no tax, no nothing. If you want to do business in China, it's almost impossible. And if you get your product there, you're going to pay a tremendous tax. But so, you know what? I want beautiful free borders. I want everything to be nice, but it doesn't work.
But this is a concerted effort to prevent you from getting the nomination, and it appears, based on the names of the people there, that they're willing to spend millions and millions and tens of millions of dollars to stop you.
Well, you know, they've already spent it. I mean, we had a great night last night. I love it. It was a great group. Look, did we have a great night last night? Was that a... What happened last night with all the victories, I mean, that was a tremendous, even some of these pundits who are the absolute worst, least talented, I won't talk about them on your show, because they happen to be on Fox, many of them. But I will say, they even said that was a phenomenal evening for Trump. And, you know, the victories, and not only the victories, the margins they were landslides. They were all landslides. So here's what's happening. The biggest story in politics today is the fact that during the Republican primaries, so many people, millions and millions of additional people are showing up to vote. It is a phenomenon. It's been on the cover of Time magazine numerous times. I've been on the cover of Time magazine like 4 times in a short period of time. Can you believe it? That's crazy. I've been on, I think 2 times in my lifetime, and I've been on 4 times. Politics is really a lot of fun. But the fact is, we have altogether, we have a movement going on. And it's a movement of competence and common sense. And thank you. It's a movement of competence and common sense and low taxes and so many other things. And by the way, and borders.
Last night you said
they would be so foolish, Sean, to give it away.
I agree with you.
Millions of people, they would be so foolish to throw that away.
When you see the numbers and the percentages, this percentage increase on the Republican side, clearly the energy is there.
Yeah.
On the Democratic side, it is depressed. It's down 35, 40%. Right. So last night you talked about reconciliation. You talked about unity. You talked about bringing the party together, electing Republican senators and congressmen, and even conversations with Paul Ryan. Bring us in that conversation. How are these people that are there now responding to you behind the scenes?
Well, some have called me, and some it's very personal and very quiet and confidential. And I've been called by the biggest people in the world of politics. I've been called by certain establishment people that you wouldn't even believe. I was called by Paul Ryan, who was very, very nice. I like Paul Ryan. I've always liked. I like maybe a little bit stronger border than he would like, and that's okay, and we can get that done. But he called, and he was very, very, it was very, very good that he did.
You said something else
last
night.
And by the way, and others.
Some have questioned, look, you're a tough businessman, a fighter. Some of the debates we were discussing with the crowd before have gotten very intense. And some say, well, Donald Trump, this is what Mitt Romney said, doesn't have the temperament to be president. You said last night, I can be as presidential as anybody. Talk about the temperament that you think a president needs.
You know, it's actually quite a complicated subject. There were 17 people that started, all capable people, you know, senators and governors. I mean, we're not talking about babies, and they got there by guile and intelligence. So I started off with 17. Everybody that's attacked me is gone. Do you ever notice that? Wouldn't that be nice for our country? Everybody. So we're now down to 4. But, you know, when I'm doing that, I can't be so nice. When I'm being attacked viciously, I mean, Jeb was very vicious. They were all very vicious. And they're all gone. And they've gone like where the poll numbers were 11, and then they attack me and they go 0, and they say bye-bye. And these are not people that like me. And these are among the people that are, you know, ganging up to try and do something. Look, I feel, number one, I know this. I could be the most presidential person other than, I always joke and say, other than Abe Lincoln. He was pretty good. He was a serious president, right? He had the serious president look. But I was a great student. I went to the best schools, all that stuff. I mean, I have what it takes. But you have to, when somebody's attacking you personally and attacking you viciously, I guess they say you should, some people say, just stand up and let them say whatever they want. You're presidential. It doesn't work that way. I would be run out of town. If I did that, it doesn't work that way. No, Sean.
No, I'm listening.
At the right time, I will be so presidential that you'll call me and you say, Donald, you have to stop that. It's too much. But you know what? It is true, and I think you understand. When they attack me, I have to attack back. I'm a counterpuncher. When they attack me, if I don't attack back, you know, the press can say, oh, he should act more presidential. And then, like a couple of days ago, I gave a speech. I said, that was so presidential. I can be presidential. But when you're being attacked, and when you attack back, they say it's not.
But I see after you've had victories and you hold these press conferences, right, that's more the person. I've known you for 15 plus years or 16 years. That's the person that I've always known. Now, it's going to be a little different scenario. I know the Democratic playbook. Assuming it's Hillary, and I know how you feel about that. Assuming it's Hillary, they're going to say Republicans are racist, sexist, homophobic. They want to poison the air, water, kill children, throw Granny over the cliff. Oh, and they hate America.
Well, by the way, and it's what they did with Romney. And
that's what they do all the time.
Especially with Paul on entitlements. Remember the famous wheelchair over the cliff and all. But look, I was hit only once by Hillary, and that was 4 weeks ago. And we haven't heard from her since. and I will tell you, I was not given proper credit because she went down during that period of time, and they gave the credit when Bernie Sanders all of a sudden started doing well. They gave all the credit. I did a big favor to him. But she said something about me, and I said something very strong about her and Bill. It was just a counter. I haven't even started on her yet. And let me just tell you the one person she does not want to run against is me. That I can tell you. You know, I watch on your show Ted Cruz, and I watch these people, and they say, oh, well, number one, I'm beating her beautifully in polls. In fact, one came out today where I'm beating her very nicely in polls, but I haven't even started on her yet.
So you're saying this is a preview of coming attractions?
No, I'm just saying we're going to win. I'm just saying we're going to win. And the other guys aren't going to win. One thing I do that nobody else can do, I'm going to bring places like Michigan into play. Nobody else is going to win. Ted Cruz and Rubio, I think Rubio's out of it now, but Ted Cruz is not going to win Michigan. Ted Cruz is never going to win Michigan.